same old Betty in the new year. Oh, my hair. I mean, ignore the mess. I mean, I am a mess. I mean... Hello everyone and welcome back. That was so over the top excited. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm not dead. It's 2018. I am here. I am putting this video out for you guys. So it's the 12th of January and I've decided that I still would like to put up a recap of 2017 even though it's halfway through January 2018. This is definitely a video I should have posted like the 2nd of January, the latest, but here we are. So please ignore the room, the mess, the unmade bed. That is still me. I mean, New Year, same Betty. Not changing. So hope your Christmas was fab. Hope your New Year's was fab. Mine was. New Year's, I actually went to the Falls Festival. I went to that and had a really lovely time. So this video I really just want to make to like recap 2017, reflect on the big moments, reflect on the progress I've made in my life, and then set some goals for 2018 just so I can have like in a year's time I can look back and see if I achieved those goals. Obviously I didn't vlog everything, obviously I didn't talk about everything, so this is going to be a whole big old long video of me like recapping my life in 2017. You might want to snuggle in. I feel like it's going to be a long one because a lot happened in 2017. And yeah. So start of 2017, I was in a great place. I was in a really good relationship. I was in a financially stable job. Like everything was just fabulous. I think it was probably around about this time last year. The guy that I was seeing had to move states. And he ended up moving the start of February last year. From the moment we found out he had to move, I was heartbroken. Like it started from the day we found out he actually had to move. I remember we both were, I think we were here actually, and we both just lost it. We were in the middle of kind of arguing about it, kind of crying about it, kind of being sad about it, kind of just like, that was the start of everything that happened last year. That was just like the moment I knew that everything was going to be really freaking hard from that point on. I turned around and said I didn't want to do a long distance relationship, but he was like, no, we'll make it work, it'll be fine. Bear in mind, we had been together for a really long time. Like it wasn't like a fresh little relationship. We definitely saw each other as who we were going to end up being with in long term. We pretty much day one went from talking, like we talked about it day one. We were like, this is what we want. This is like the plan we have for our life. So really there was no doubt in my mind that he wasn't who I was going to end up with. So I think I fell into that trap really early on in that relationship. I thought that he was the what is that saying? He was the, do you know what I mean? I really 100% put everything I had into him, and I think I lost a fair chunk of myself whilst being in that relationship because I was so focused on keeping him happy and doing what I could do for him, and I definitely didn't put enough time into myself throughout that relationship. So he moved, I think it was like the 5th or 6th of February last year he moved, and we did like over a month not seeing each other. And long distance is hard. It's so hard, especially because he just moved up to Brisbane. He moved to Brisbane. He just moved up there. He had his own life that he was trying to sort out, and I definitely can take the blame with saying that I did not give him enough time to settle in. I was more concerned about our relationship, and I can tell you now, I didn't give him enough time or space to back off and be like, this is a big change for you. You need to concentrate on you and not us. That's my one regret with that whole situation, was I didn't take enough time to care for him. It was us. So yeah, we did a whole month where long distance was really hard, and it got to the point where he turned around and said, I'm flying you up here because this is getting ridiculous. I think I went up there for like Friday to Monday. We had a lovely weekend together. It was great. And I left feeling really great about us, and I thought, no, okay, we're going to have it. And then I think I left on such a high that as soon as it went back to long distance, missing each other on the phone, like missing phone calls, like you don't have the same schedule. I may be at work all day while he's not, so we can't talk during the day, and then he'll go to work at night. Or do you know what I mean? Like it's not as easy as having the person with you. So that, I think for me, that was the hardest thing, was we could never really catch a good time to talk, or when we did, it was rushed conversation, and I felt like so many things were changing in my life, and I was going through so many things that I didn't have him to rebound off like I had for however long we were together before he moved. So yeah, as soon as I came back from that trip, that all just started to build up again, and it just got to the point where it was constant, I wouldn't say arguing, but it was just like neither of us actually could stand talking to each other. Like it got to the point where I was like, what's the point in even trying, because I can't talk to you right now. Like I can't be there. I ended up going back up for his birthday, and it didn't get better when we saw each other. Like I thought as soon as we saw each other again it would be okay, but it wasn't. And I left that trip knowing that we weren't in a good place, and it wasn't long distance was not something that we could keep going with. And he obviously felt the same, because the day after I left he broke up with me, and it's definitely what that relationship needed. Definitely, looking back on it now, 100% if we had kept going the way we were going, like I spent from February to the start of April absolutely a mess. I was in tears all the time, I was sad all the time because I didn't have him with me, and when I did have him on the phone, it was not the same as having the real life human being sitting with you talking about your day. I obviously was heartbroken at the time, because I spent so long thinking that this guy was the guy, and this is all I needed, and he was everything I ever wanted. And not saying that's not true, not saying he wasn't at the time. At that time in my life, that's exactly what I needed. He gave me so many things and taught me so many things, and I learnt so much from that relationship, but it got too hard, and it really upsets me to say that it got too hard. Like I was wanting to work for it, and I wanted to make it work. I wanted to try absolutely everything, and I think it got to the point where I was trying too much, that he was getting suffocated by me wanting the relationship to work. It was the best thing that could have happened in the situation we were in. Obviously if he hadn't moved, I don't know, because the whole reason we broke up was the fact that he had moved, and that it was too hard, as I said. So I don't know if he'd stayed and further down the road there would have been more issues. I don't know, but all I can say is he is a great guy, and I know when you go through a breakup, it turns people into shitty people. You're so angry, and you're so in the moment, and you're so done. You're just done. Like we went for so long without talking. Like I wasn't ready to give up, and I tried and I tried and I tried, and all I needed was some sort of communication, some sort of closure, like some sort of something. And his way of dealing with it was just putting my number on mute, blocking me, whatever he did, for 6 months, and not talking to me. And that, fair enough, that is how he dealt with it. Like that is 100% fine. I still think he is great. I still think he is worth so much more than he gives himself credit for. I still think he is such a unique, amazing human that I wish him all the best in his life, because he helped me with so much in our time together. And I definitely believe that things happen for a reason, and I definitely believe he came into my life for a reason. The place I was in before, like when he found me, I was just a mess. I was sad. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know if I could be loved. Like it was so... ugh. So pretty much after we broke up, I obviously was upset. I was distraught. I didn't eat for a good 2 weeks. I just didn't eat. I didn't want to go to the gym. I went to work. I went to bed. That's all I did. Like I didn't I couldn't do it. I just didn't have enough energy. I felt sick all the time. I couldn't believe what was happening. It happened because, as I said, for so long, he was my person. He was what I needed, and I didn't have that anymore. Obviously, I fell kind of back into the like, I didn't eat for 3 days, and then I would binge eat because I hadn't eaten, and I ate everything I could, and then I felt guilty, and then I felt like, oh my God, I don't deserve to eat. Someone's just left. Like, it was just an awful place to be in. And at that time, I think anyone that goes through a breakup, they kind of have the same kind of things. Like, I remember talking to my mum, and she was like, just listen to your body. If you don't want to eat, don't eat. If you can't eat, like, I would eat an apple and I would feel sick and gross. And so I remember saying that to her, and she's like, if that's how you're feeling, go with it. Just whatever's going on right now, go with it. But going through that stage, definitely I learnt to see the signals of my eating disorder, and I learnt to see the triggering, like the trigger points, and like what sort of day I have to see what's going to happen. And I know if I don't eat a proper meals throughout the day, my day will end with a binge and end with me going to bed really upset and really mad at myself. Eventually I think you go through I think mine lasted like a good 4 weeks where you just feel sad, you don't eat, you don't move, you can't breathe, you just can't do anything, you're just sad. And I remember I would cry and cry at work, and I just couldn't comprehend losing someone that was meant, in my brain, he was meant to be a part of my life forever. And I do also think that him moving made it a lot easier, because technically I'd already lost him. When we actually broke up, I just lost the contact I had with him. So eventually, after those sad 4 weeks it ended, I was going to sleep. Started going back to the gym, and I started to really focus on trying to eat and make sure that what I was eating was helping my body, because I obviously was going through so much stress and so much emotional just drainage that my poor body was like, what are you doing? Like, we need to eat, we need to function. Like, it was getting to the point where I was not healthy. Like, I wasn't, if I'd kept going, there definitely would have been some sort of serious health issues, because I just wasn't fueling my body. So eventually I think I clicked and realized that if I didn't start to step up, I would go down that road, and that's definitely not something I'd ever wish upon anyone or want to go through myself. So that really snapped me back. I remember going back to the gym and starting to feel a lot better, and I remember realizing that going to the gym was 2 hours of my day where I actually didn't feel sad, and I had so many other things that could distract me that I didn't feel any of those feelings that I felt when I was lying in bed or when I was alone at work or any of that. So I remember pushing myself into the gym, and I think that's what really kickstarted last year. I really started to actually start losing weight in a healthier way, and I didn't drop 10 kilos in a month and a half like I have previously. I remember seeing this post on Instagram saying, so what if you don't lose those 10 kilos in a month? What if you actually lose them in a year and learn all the healthy, build yourself into healthy habits and actually do it slowly and reward your body? I'm just starting to realize that a year to lose 15 kilos is so much better than it happening in 3 months. I really think that going through that breakup and going through that sad time really helped me realize, really actually helped me see how to look after my body and what it needed, because I was going on zero, and then I was able to pretty much build myself back up to where I needed to be. About July is when I started to really feel better. I remember my contract was finishing at my job, and I had to go and find a new job. And I remember I was sitting at my current workplace, and I was sitting there having lunch, and I thought, you know what? I really want to work here, and I have wanted to work here since it opened. So why don't I just bring my resume in and give it a go? And I did, and I got an interview the next day, and at the interview, my now boss told me I had the job. And I have never been more happy in a workplace. Getting up at 4:50 is worth everything, because I now feel like I have a second family, and I now feel so happy. And I definitely think that's because of all the progress I made in 2017 and all the things that have happened. But this job, without it, I think I definitely would not feel the way I do. Like, I'm excited to go to work and I'm excited to be at work, and it doesn't feel like a drag, and like a 7-hour shift just flies because I actually have so much fun with the customers, so much fun with my co-workers. I love my boss to bits. I love my Jasmine to bits. So I'm really proud of myself for stepping into that and handing in my resume and saying, this is what I want, here I am, because I've never done that before. And then, so as I said, my ex and I did not talk for 6 months. He randomly messaged me a week before I had booked a trip with my best friend to go to Brisbane, which I had booked months in advance, and I tried to keep it very hush hush. Not that it would matter that I was going up there, but I just didn't want anyone to tell him, oh, Beth's coming up there. Like, I just wanted to go and have my own time and not worry about anything. But a week before I went up there, he sent me this message, and I ended up calling him because I thought, this is just ridiculous. So I called him and we talked, and I said, look, I'm coming up there in a week. If you want to actually talk this out, I'm more than happy to meet up with you. And we did, and we cried and we talked and we just went through absolutely everything, and I got to ask every single question that I wanted to ask. I got to hear everything that he had been wanting to say for 6 months and everything that I'd been needing to hear for 6 months, and it was honestly the best time that I've had. My sister just commented on one of my videos, I'm ashamed to call her my sister, in brackets, I'm not really, this is hilarious. So yeah, I came back from my trip up to Brisbane feeling so, it was what I needed. Like, I'd built myself up, I'd gotten my health back on track, I'd gotten an amazing job, I was going, then I got this closure from him, and I came back feeling absolutely amazing. Like, I was like, this is it. I don't have to worry about it anymore. I know exactly what I needed to know. I've got all the answers. Everything's amazing. So then we started talking a bit more, and I mean, hanging out with him for like that weekend I was there, I think we saw him 3 or 4 times. I think I definitely realized that we have changed, and that is because we're not in each other's pockets and we're not living the same life anymore, and we both have completely different jobs and completely different outlooks on life as we did 6 months prior to seeing each other. And it made me sad, but it also made me realize that people do change, and not to say that he's changed into a bad person, because I still think he's a great guy, as I've said. But it definitely helped me to see that he needed to be there. He grew up so much and became so independent and had gained so much from moving, and I gained back my freedom and my confidence and my, like, I just, from not being in a relationship, I got the time to just focus on me and be really selfish, and I really think I needed that, especially last year. Like, I needed nearly a whole year just to be selfish and just to say, well, no, I want to go to the gym 3 times a day, and I don't have to worry about anyone else saying anything, and I don't have to worry about seeing anyone or keeping up a relationship with anyone. I want to do this, so I'm going to do this. And I definitely, even though it wasn't even a full year that I gave myself, but I definitely needed it. So yes, as I said, came back from that trip feeling great. We did still talk on and off. We talk on the phone. We would it's so hard talking to someone that you were with for that long and not having feelings for them anymore, but also at the same time falling back into old habits. Like, we would talk on the phone for 3 or 4 hours and it would feel like no time had gone, and we would just talk absolute rubbish. And I remember there was one point after I come back and we were talking on the phone, and I thought, this is ridiculous, because neither of us want each other, neither of us want to be together, but we're on the phone talking like we are together. And it just got to the point where I thought, if he doesn't cut it off, I have to cut it off. And thankfully things happened that we both just stopped talking to each other, and he cut it off, I cut it off, whatever. And I'm thankful for that. But at the same time, it's kind of sad. Like, we still talk on and off. Like, I've talked to him this week. I also asked him if I could talk about him on this video. Like, I know that I'll be able to talk to him, and I know all of that now. But when I came back from my trip, it was all just so confusing. So it's just nice that we both live our own lives. He's moved on, I've moved on, which is a great feeling. It's a nice thing to say. So when I came back from my trip in September, when I came back in October, this poor little guy had been trying to talk to me ever since probably we broke up. My ex and I broke up, I reckon. And it was a sticky situation because he was involved with one of my friends, and that was a no-go zone to me. That was just a bit no. And he actually was in Brisbane because he's from Brisbane as well. So he was actually on holiday in Brisbane the exact same weekend that I was away talking to my ex. Like, I didn't go for my ex, but I saw my ex, talk to my ex. And he was desperately trying to meet up with me while I was in Brisbane, and I was like, no, I've got to talk to my ex, and I'm doing this, and I don't need any boys because me and my ex are talking about our life. Like, I was still in the mindset of me and my ex-boyfriend, and it was very, I think it got, like, my mindset had gone on for too long, and obviously that trip really helped me get closure and really helped me understand that I didn't want that anymore. And then, so yes, I came back and I gave in. I thought, well, come on over then, come over to my house, because I was kind of at the point where I was like, no, okay, like, I need to move on. I've got the closure I need. I've had the 4-hour discussion that I need. So he came over, and I still was talking to my ex-boyfriend, and I was still talking about him to this poor guy, and I was going on and on and on, and I think it got to the point where he thought, well, there's no point. She's still obsessed with her ex-boyfriend, so I'm not going to bother. So we talked for 3 or 4 weeks, and I think he had enough, and he pretty much stopped talking to me. We'd talk on and off, but I at the same time was like, well, if you can't put up with that, then I don't want to talk to you either. And then end of November, he started talking to me properly again, and again I was like, stuff it, let's hang out. So we went, I think we just went out to Kmart and to Nen, like we just did something random. And I remember sitting there, and he took a photo of me, and this person replied back saying, who's that? And he went to type a friend, and I said, oh, so I'm just a friend, is that it? And he's like, yeah, I thought you put me in the friend zone. And I was like, you put me in the friend, and we had this whole big argument, so I can't. And from that point on, I remember he told me drunkenly, so I don't know if he's watching this, and he's like, I didn't say that. He told me it was that moment he looked at me and thought, no, I could see myself wanting to be with this girl. I could see myself, if she's willing, I can see it happening. And I kind of remember feeling about the same. I thought, oh, well, it's kind of free for all now if we both think we're out of the friend zone. And 3 weeks later, he turned into my boyfriend. So, yeah, that was a positive. Like, I really feel like all the negativity that happened in 2017 really led all the way up to nearly the end of the year, where I found my now boyfriend, and he was like the little light at the end of the tunnel. Like, I really believe that is how my year went. Like, it started off really great, went through all the crap, and then I found my boyfriend, and here we are. Yeah, I'm now seeing someone, and he's great. I don't want to do a whole lot, oh my god, I love my boyfriend, so beautiful, but I do. He is really, he's different for me, and he's very similar to me, and our sassiness, we both are very similar with the way we think about things, the way we talk about things, the way that we, and it's fun for me. Like, it's a bit of competition to actually try and like win an argument, and to try that's so bad, but it's very different to people that I've dated before, and he has very strong opinions about things, and he will actually plan things for us to do, and he will make us do things, and he will buy me flowers, and it's just very different to what I've had in the past, and I really look forward to what happens in the future. I know that we're both very happy right now, but we're still in that honeymoon stage, but it's just so nice. It's just lovely. So that's a positive end to my year. Also, my family have had some really big changes. My mum and my dad have bought a business and I am now a part of that. So I actually now have 3 jobs. So I don't know how these videos are going to go. So 2017, as I kind of just said, was an absolute year. And I definitely think it was one of those years that needed to happen. I needed to learn everything. I needed to go through everything that I went through to come out a better person. And I honestly feel like I am so much happier within myself. I know how to recognize when I've pushed my body too far, especially at the gym. I know when to take a day off. I know when I need to push myself a little harder. I can feel within my body, no matter what the scales are saying, I can feel like I now know I put on 5 kilos right before I'm about to get my period. Like, I know that. And I know I'm going to feel bloated and crap. And I know that that is all it is. And it's just little things like that. Like, I know like a whole year of 2017 isn't going to help me learn that you put weight on before you get your period. But like, it's just little things like that that really put me down a year ago. I've learnt because I've literally dedicated nearly a whole year to myself. I didn't talk to anyone. I didn't let anyone in. I didn't do anything that wasn't about me for that long. And that's, if you have the opportunity in your life, like if you're single right now, or you have a partner that 100% would understand, or if you have the ability to go, you know what, this year is just about me. It is honestly, like, it's not a conscious decision I made. It's not something I stood back and was like, nah, this whole year after my shitty breakup, this is what's happening. I didn't say it like that, but that's how it happened. And I had the best year of learning things and learning how to be the person I want to be, and learning how to actually go from, I was never severely overweight. I was never like, but I was never happy with anything I ever did to my body. And I got out of a relationship where all we did was eat, and I had put on so much weight. And for me to sit here today and say that I fought back and that I actually really pushed myself last year, and that I'm feeling so much better about this year, and I know that I can smash goals, and I know that I can now be in a relationship with someone and still have these goals, because I'm in a relationship with someone who has very high goals and understands that if I want to get out of bed and go to the gym at whatever time, I'm getting out of bed and I'm going to the gym. Like, we're not spending the day together. I'm doing this, then I'm going to go to work, and then I'm going to go to the gym again, and then I'll come and see you. And that's what I love. I love that I then have someone else who understands that that's what I need to do in my life, but I'm still there for them 110%. I've still got them. I'm still backing them up, but I want to go smash my goals, because for me to be a better person, I have to concentrate on these goals so that I can put myself more into the relationship, if that makes sense. So really, 2018, I just want to concentrate on juggling 3 jobs, I'd actually really like to start saving up money, and I'd like to aim more towards moving out. It's definitely something that I'm thinking of. I'm turning 21 this year. I definitely need to have a little bit more money behind me than what I do. I definitely need to stop relying on, I feed myself, I provide for myself, I pay all my own bills, I pay my petrol in my car, I do everything myself. My parents just house me, and every now and then they'll feed me when I don't have enough money to eat. Or there'll be food in the cupboard that I know I can eat, but I also go and buy my own. And I'd like to get to the point that even if I don't move out, I'd still like to be giving my parents some money towards me living here and towards me eating their food, and come to some sort of arrangement. Mum, if you're watching, I'm not saying right now, Christmas has killed me and I'm catching up still on money, so please. I don't want to say that I want to lose a certain amount of weight. There is a number that I'd like to get down to and say that I've gotten down to it and stick around that number, and if I go lower, that would be fabulous. I definitely want to be a lot more positive with my outlook when it comes to my body, because I've started looking at photos that I've been taking of myself, and there is a massive difference between start of last year and start of this year, and I still feel like I feel so much better and so great and so amazing, but like, I feel like I still physically look like I did this time last year. I also would really like to thank every single one of you that is subscribed, every single one of you that has liked my video, because my channel has grown so much in 2017. It definitely was something I tried to push myself a lot more into, to try and focus on something else when everything else was falling apart. So it definitely is awesome to actually see to just see it actually changing, and what I'm putting into it is actually working. I don't know what I would do without it. There's so many of you that are such loyal subscribers. You follow me on all my social media, you reply to every, you comment on every video. I love that interaction with you guys. And if this channel remains small and doesn't really go anywhere further than where we're at, I would still love to be making videos for the audience that I have, and to be interacting with you guys just as much as we are now, because it's so amazing to know that I have a little backup family and that I have a group of people that really want to watch me and want to see what I have to say, and they come back every video and then give me feedback and say, I liked this, let's do more of this, blah blah blah. So 2017 was also a massive year for me on YouTube. I learned so much more. I gained, I bought myself a real camera, I got a laptop to edit on. I want to push myself more this year with YouTube. I want to do more. I'm gonna sneeze. That's another thing. People sneeze differently and it's great. I think a unique sneeze is great. Anyway, so yes, 2018 goals, I would like to, one of them as well, I would like to push myself a lot more into YouTube, have maybe a regular upload schedule, to actually have more original ideas, to take you out more in public, to really document my life a lot more, and to really throw myself in. I keep thinking my sister's going to come in because the door's unlocked. Really, 2018 goals is to continue my fitness. I'm not trying to do anything crazy, because I realised the slower the better. And there's going to be setbacks. I was really good over Christmas. I didn't have any bad food. Didn't do any of the normal Christmas food. None of that. And then I was really good between Christmas and New Year's. And then New Year's came along and I got really drunk in a paddock and ate lots of burgers. So yeah, I was saying to my boyfriend last night, Falls wasn't the issue. We felt fine when we came back from Falls. But it was then from then on, because we got into bad habits, and then we're slowly trying to get, we actually need to figure out an eating plan and yada yada yada. But that's just a lot. When you're working 3 jobs, that is a lot. To come home at the end of the day and go, alright, we're cooking dinner, that's a lot. I really hope you guys are still interested in me. You still want to see my content. You still want to know. I think there's been so much this year that I've tried to hide away from you guys, my breakup completely. I just wanted to act like it didn't happen, because I was so hurt and upset. And then as the end of the year's come along, I've started to talk about it a lot more, and I've had a lot of questions. So this video will hopefully answer them all. If you have any more questions, which I really don't think you should, leave them down below. Send me a message. That'd be great. But I am just so happy with who I'm with now and the direction I now see my life going because of this person. And it's so nice to be with someone who has goals and understands that I have goals, and that I really want to push hard with YouTube, and I really want to push hard with just getting my body to where I feel comfortable. And it's just, having someone there for you is a nice feeling. It was really nice to have a solo year, but having someone back in your corner is also a really fabulous feeling. So I'm sorry this video was really long, but I just wanted to go into depth of my 2017 experience, because there was a lot, and I definitely don't think I covered enough, a lot of it. But I've learnt so much. I've learnt how to really appreciate myself and my self-worth, and that I'm worth it, and I am worth being here, and people want me on this earth. And that's a big thing for some people, especially when you go through such a sad time. It's so hard to sit back and think people want me here, and I'm wanted, and I'm needed, and I have a purpose. So that's also something amazing that has come out of 2017. I've realized that I'm needed on the earth and people would miss me if I was gone. So I'm really looking forward to, I'm not doing the whole new year, new me, because I'm so happy with who I am now, and I'm so happy with where I see my life going and how many changes I have made so far and how many more I'm looking forward to making. And I'm just so damn proud of myself. So I hope that if you had a crappy 2017, that the cliche is true and you make 2018 so much better. And if you need a year for you, have one. If you need 2 months for you, have one, because it's the best thing that's happened to me, and everything that happened to me in 2017 is the best thing that could have come out of 2017. And I'm just so thankful that I had my heart broken, and I'm so thankful that I learnt to be strong enough to be on my own and to deal with it. And I feel like so much, like, there it is, 2017's done. On the 12th of January, I'm finally making this video, and I look forward to spending 2018 with you. So if there's any videos you'd like to see, as always, let me know. I'm here for you. My trashy room is here to stay, and I'm sorry. So if you liked this ramble of a video, I know it's going to be over 20 minutes long, and I'm sorry. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to like it, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you next time with another video. Bye!